Okay, it was exercise 1. We just have to classify those two triangles. Okay, so 1B. That's a quite a simple one today. We got 3 angles. 5, we have 26, and 45 and 59. All 3 of those angles are acute angles, so it's an acute angle, Isosceles triangle, right? Because all 3 angles are different. It's kind of your own scaly acute angle triangle, and it's kind of what all those words are specified, because obviously you have both of these. Oh, I say it all. Okay. That's fine. Okay, you're looking. Okay, we're done with that one, guys. Then you are late. Now what? Now I'm supposed to give you detention for being late after break. Sit down. And I want to coming when I'm having a conversation with someone. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if there are only 2 of the 3 angles, you have to calculate the 3rd one. So we did an example like this on when was this month? What's today? Today is Wednesday. Last one we had on Friday, I think, right? So if they've given you 2 angles, you need to find the 3rd one. You're going to say 180 minus 57 minus 46. All right, please write angles for a triangle. Did you do that on Friday? Did you talk about the reason? Yes. Okay, thank you. Please, whenever you're doing your 180 minus 2 angles, you have to write angles for the triangle in it next to it. So one, you have to have 77 is actually the same type of triangle as in 1B. You have 3 different angles, so that makes it steady, and all 3 angles are acute, so that makes it acute angle. Guys, there are way too many of these calculators down. I have to start taking homework. Questions on these 2? Okay, so where you wanted me to go back to the first one? Okay, those of you that are done marking / copying that down, you can write a new heading so long, more triangle rules. Yeah.
Next next, using the triangle symbol. Would you have to first write triangle in words equals triangle?
All right, guys, that is the heading. Yeah. Okay. That's number 1 beginning. with those two triangles. All right, guys, I am going to give you the others as well, but there are a few things that we just need to chat about before I can do those. So, we summarized the different types of triangles, right? We spoke about scalene. We remember that that is a triangle with three different sides and three different angles. Then we spoke about isosceles triangles. All right, so let's just make a note here. This is very important, especially the reason here that we're going to use. So, isosceles triangles have two equal sides. So let's do that. And two equal angles. Okay, so I'm going to draw two triangles. We'll just do the first one. And it's supposed to be isosceles. Oh, Jesus. It's supposed to be isosceles, but don't stress if it doesn't look like one. We are going to label it as one. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm going to call this triangle A, B, C. So those are the letters that we're using, and I am going to indicate that those two sides are equal. Make sure that you copy it down like that, please. So if we see a triangle like that, then we know immediately that is an isosceles triangle. Okay, that's all that they need to tell us in order for us to come to the conclusion that it's isosceles. We just need to tell us that two of the three sides are equal. Okay, so that is definitely isosceles. Now I'm going to put an angle in this bottom angle here for B. I'm going to say that, let's say B is 70 degrees. I'm worried if it doesn't look like a 70-degree angle, it doesn't have to. When it comes to geometry, guys, we're not really worried about scale. Okay, and in case of example also, the diagrams that you are given are not always drawn to scale. All right, so you're not ever going to take like your protractor and measure an angle and say that is the answer. Okay, they'll always say in the instructions, not drawn to scale. So we don't expect you to either. Unless it's a construction. Yes, which is that stuff that we did at the beginning of okay, those have to be drawn to scale. But for the normal geometry stuff, we're not worried about that. And now the question that they can ask you here is find, oh sorry, let me just make that clear again. Find the size of angle C. And when they're writing angle C, I don't know, I feel like sometimes in primary school you do the angle symbol and then you write C after that. Some teachers do that. We in high school we work with the letter and then we do like a little copy thing on top of the letter. So that means angle. They also have to find the size of angle C. And guys, if the triangle is isosceles, which we have said this one is, right? Because it has two equal sides. It's also going to have two equal angles. So I'm going to write here just underneath in a different color. If a triangle has two equal sides, just has two equal sides, then we can just make that arrow like a double arrow, that means then the angles, remember we can use that symbol angle, we don't have to write the word angle. The angles opposite those sides are equal. And maybe highlight the word opposite or underline it. That is the most important word actually in this whole sentence. If a triangle has two equal sides, then the angles opposite those sides will also be equal. A lot of times they say that it's the base angle of the triangle, but it's not always going to be the triangle. It's always going to be drawn in this orientation. Okay. So guys, we need to understand that if you're looking at this triangle, which two sides are equal? Do we agree that AB and AC are equal? Which angle is opposite AC? Angle B, hey, that's 70-degree angle. Let's make a little arrow showing that that 70-degree angle is opposite AC. Which side is equal to AC? AB. Yes. Which angle is opposite AB? Angle C. So that means that angle C is going to be 70 degrees as well. It's always the two angles that are opposite the sides that are equal. Okay, so please call that in on the picture. So what is the answer for C? Angle C is 7 degrees. All right, so let's write that. Therefore, C equals 70 degrees. Now guys, the reason here is very important. The reason is going to be angles opposite equal sides. Okay, I'm going to say that again and I'm going to write it. It's basically what we've written down here in the sentence. How is it writing with the shortened version of it? We're going to say angles of, you are allowed to just write off. Okay, you're going to write opposite out. Equal sides. That is your reason. So if you have an isosceles triangle, obviously now, and they've given you that two of the sides are equal, you are able to say that those two angles are equal, and your reason is always going to be angles opposite equal sides. Yes? No, this is just an explanation. You'll just write that. Yes. Okay, the reason here. Yeah, it is notation as well. Okay, guys, very, very important. Maybe highlight that reason as well. If you write anything else, you're not going to get that mark. Okay, you can't write isosceles triangles. You can't mix up those words. People often get very confused. Lots of people say angles equal opposite sides, and then it's like that doesn't make sense. All right, the reason has to make sense. It has to be angles opposite equal sides. Yes. When you just try to see what like that stuff, it does have to have that copy on that. It's an angle. So that's the notation for angle. If you just try to see, you're referring to a point. Okay, not the angle. Okay, guys, what if they now ask us to find the sides of angle A? You're going to do that as well. Find the side of angle A. Then, do you want to say? Yes, thank you. Find the size of angle A. Now we have two of the three angles, all right? And we know that the three angles of a triangle have to add up to 183. So we're going to say 180 minus 70 minus 70. Okay, so we'll just write angle A is equal to 180 minus 70 minus 70. If you want, guys, you can say 180 minus 140. Right? You can put those two 70-degree angles together as one, if you want to do it like that. What is the reason? Angle sum in triangle. Thank you. Please write it and highlight it. We really have to focus on getting our reasons right. I know it seems unnecessary, but in matric finals, you have to have your reasons right. Okay, so we're practicing from grade 8. Yes, always, yes. What did I just say? No, yes. Okay, so what's 180 minus 70? 40 degrees. Okay, that's one kind of scenario in which I solve these triangles. Where they're giving you two sides are equal, and you use that obviously now to calculate an angle. It can be given the other way around. They can tell you the two angles are equal, and you then use that to get the length of the side. Okay, so let's do an example like that. Ryan, what was your question? In your reasons, yes. Always. Yeah. Yes. So not on the cash document, but you okay, guys, we're going to draw the exact same picture, the same triangle ABC, but we're not going to put in the lines on the sides. Okay, so do the same triangle, and then just wait, and you can label it ABC again, and then just wait for me to show you what the values are that we're going to put in there. Okay, there we go. And then just next to it, I'm going to write the question, find the length of AB. Okay, again, I'm going to write a little sentence like we did in the previous example. You don't have to write that sentence down in the test exam, but we're just writing the rule down. We notice here that we have two equal angles, right? So these two angles are equal, making this an isosceles triangle. Okay, if a triangle has two equal angles, that's what we're writing now. Then the sides opposite those angles are equal. It's the same as what we wrote for the first example. We're now just swapping sides and angles. When the sides opposite those angles are equal. Okay, so what side is opposite angle B? AC. Hey, this 5 centimeter side. So let's do the same thing. Let's do our arrow. Now the angle that's equal to B is angle C. And what side is opposite angle C? AB. So that means that the sides opposite these angles are also equal, right? So both of these sides are opposite the angle, so AB is also going to be 5 centimeters. All right, so that is your answer, guys. We're going to say AB is equal to 5 centimeters. Now our reason is very similar to the previous one. Now we're going to say sides opposite equal angles. Right? We're finding a side. So we're looking at the sides that are opposite the equal angle. So that is our reason. Sides of equal angles. But is it a confusing that? I do understand that. The reasons are very similar. You have to write the correct one depending on what you're calculating. When you're calculating an angle, you're going to write angles opposite equal sides. Okay, when you're calculating a side, you're going to write sides opposite equal angles. Does that make sense? The one that you're calculating, that comes first in your reason. Okay. All right. Does anyone just have a textbook that I can use with all of this? This is mine at the bottom of my car. Thank you. Just want to see if I can do the rest of the questions now. Guys, you know what it means if there's like a little block in an angle? So this kind of thing, what does that mean? Right angle. Okay, so that is 90 degrees. That's important. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to do a few more examples, some more calculations, and then you're going to practice the rest of that exercise. So, have you all copied this down? Can I go to the next page? Okay. Oh, sorry. You can write examples along if you want. I can leave it over there. We're going to do some more. Okay, examples. We're going to have to redraw these triangles in your books, please. Otherwise, you're not going to know what happening. So that angle is 42 degrees in case you can't read that. And then we have another 42-degree angle in that, in angle F. But remember when we classify triangle, we have to say, scalene is, I don't have to give you that information. Put it in the stuff you want to. You're either going to have to say scalene, that's when all three angles are different on all three sides. Isosceles, two angles equal two sides. What's the third one? Equilateral, hey? I said scalene first. Equilateral is the last one, which is where you have all three equal sides or all three equal angles. Okay, we haven't actually looked at one like that. We are going to look at one like that now. Okay, so this one is even has two angles. Sorry, that's one thing that we're going to have to say. Either scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. Then we also have to say, just hang on, we also have to say acute angle. Remember that's when all three angles are smaller than 90. Or obtuse angle, that's when you have one angle that's bigger than 90. Or what's the third one? Right angles when you have a 90-degree angle. Okay. Now guys, we can't make a classification if we don't have all three angles. So we can make one classification straight away, which is isosceles, right? Because we have 42 and 42. So we can definitely say this is an isosceles triangle. But we can't say whether it's acute angles, obtuse angles, or right angles unless we have that third angle as well. Okay, so we are going to have to calculate that. So let's do that first. I'll do it next to this triangle here. So we're going to say angle D is equal to 180 minus 42 minus 42. Right, if you have two angles in a triangle, you can always find the third one by subtracting them from 180. The reason every single time you do 180 minus, you have to say angle sum in triangle. Just be careful, it's not an out, right? It has to have like a sharp angle. So when you're drawing that, might look like out, maybe I should make it a bit sharper. It should have like that kind of. Okay. I'm going to keep highlighting my reasons, guys, because they really are very important. I don't want you to lose marks because, yeah, it's quite frustrating if you know also when you can't do the calculations, but then you're getting like half marks or like 1 out of 4 because you're not writing your reasons. Okay, so please, we do have to pay attention to that. Okay, what is that answer, guys? 96. You can put that 96-degree angle in your triangle if you want to. When we notice straight away, what type of angle is that? Obtuse, next, bigger than 90. Okay, good. Now we can say, therefore, triangle DEF is an obtuse angle because we have an angle that is obtuse, that's bigger than 90, is an obtuse angle isosceles triangle. Guys, with these classification questions, you are always going to have to make sure that you have all your angles calculated. All right. Are there any questions on that one? Oh, fine. Okay. Yes. Yeah, right, everything that I wrote down. Okay, we're going to do one that we haven't done before. So this is now example 2. I'm just checking because that is a very lovely line. Okay, J, K, O, we're calling this one. And now this is all that they are telling us. JKL, they're just putting 3 little lines there. They're not even telling us what any of those angles are. That's 3 equal sides. That is equilateral. Okay, so this is definitely an equilateral triangle. Now, guys, an equilateral triangle, can we calculate those angles? We don't have any of them. Right? What do we know? If we have 3 equal sides, we're also going to have 3 equal angles. So I'm going to write that on the side. You don't have to write this in a test or exam. I'll just draw a little box around what you have to write as your final answer in a test or exam. So I know you guys are interested in that. But let's just write an equilateral. So this one is a bit of an odd one out. Okay, your answer is going to look different for this one from any other triangle. So an equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides and 3 equal angles. What does the three angles of a triangle always add up to? Say this? 180. So if I know that all three angles must be equal, I can just say 180 divided by 3, and that will give me the size of those angles. Alex, you're very excited there for that. What's happening? You want to say something? Okay. All right. So I'm going to write here. Each angle is equal to 180 divided by 3. You can also write it as divided by if you want to. Yes, Ryan? Thank you. Right, so 180 divided by 3 is 60 degrees. Right, that will always happen in an equilateral triangle. Right? Any equilateral triangle, if you have 3 equal sides, you're going to have 3 equal angles, and those angles will always be 60 degrees. Right? So in an equilateral triangle, you are always going to have 3 60-degree angles. So let's write that in our triangle. Use a different color or highlight so that you remember that that was actually given. So we have 3 60-degree angles. Do we agree that they're all acute? But guys, again, that will always happen if you have an equilateral triangle. So you don't actually have to say it, which is why I said the answer is a bit different. So for an equilateral triangle, when you have to classify it, you're actually just going to say it's equilateral. Okay, you don't still have to say acute angles because equilateral is always acute angles. Okay, we're going to assume that you know that. So you just have to write, therefore, triangle JKR is an equilateral triangle, and that's it. If you want to, you can add acute angles. You want to do them all, yes? No, there's no. Find the angles. You don't actually write reasons for classification. It's just when you're calculating stuff that you write. Okay, guys, just add that in brackets. You can add the acute angle. It won't be wrong. You are welcome to do that. But guys, you didn't actually have to do any calculations for that, right? They didn't actually ask us for those angles. We didn't need those angles, really. As soon as you see 3 equal sides, you can write equilateral triangle straight away, and that's all. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a little box, like I said, around the answer. So that is all. Oh, that's the confusion that we got going there. That is all that you will actually have to write in a test or exam. Okay, so given a triangle with 3 equal sides, you can just say straight away equilateral triangle. Okay, so that is the odd one out, guys. For any other triangle, you have to do 2 classifications. You have to say scaling, equilateral or isosceles, and acute angle, obtuse angle, or right. Equilateral is the only one where you just have to mention the one. Okay? Okay, you can rewrite it in alphabetical order. It's not fun. As long as you have the 3 letters. Okay, let's see. Do I want to do another one? No, I don't. Okay. I'm going to give you the rest of exercise 11.1. Those questions, I'm going to give you your book back just now. So you've already done 1B and F. Yeah, so it's basically all of the other triangles apart from the two that you've done already from number one. Okay, so you don't have to write that whole long list. It's just everything in number one except for the two that you have already done, which will be an F. So you're going to start working on that now. I'm going to hand off your class tests. But like I said, that's how I felt while marking them. But it's good because now I know what to focus on Friday, right? You are doing your tests on Monday or the week. Monday, okay? Make sure that we have written that down somewhere. Yeah.